It was an assault on free speech right in the heart of Paris. 3 masked gunmen shouting "God is great" burst into the offices of the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo and opened fire, killing 10 cartoonists and writers and 2 policemen. A massive manhunt is now underway. Tonight in Paris and in cities across France and Europe, fear has turned to resolve. People lighting candles for the dead and holding up pens, chanting, "We are not afraid." Good evening and thanks for joining us. To target cartoonists at a satirical magazine seems pointless, even ridiculous. They were not soldiers or policemen. They drew for a living. Those killed were among the best-loved satirists in France. They poked fun at everyone and everything, including sometimes the Muslim prophet Muhammad. And for the gunman today, that was motive enough. Our Stuart Greer is in Paris tonight. Stuart?
Donna, there are several police operations underway across France tonight, including a major one in the city of Reims, just northeast of Paris. Now, the gunmen today were well-trained, well-armed, and executed their massacre with military precision.
Brandishing AK-47 rifles and a rocket-propelled grenade, the Islamist gunmen stormed the offices of the controversial French weekly just as staff of Charlie Hebdo were sitting down to their daily editorial meeting. They got in by threatening to murder one of the staff's toddlers unless she opened the main door. Shouting Allahu Akbar and the Prophet has been avenged, they massacred journalists, asking for many by name. Among those murdered were 4 of France's most famous political cartoonists, Jean Cabu and Stéphane Charbonnier, along with his bodyguard.
Le jour noir de l'histoire de la presse française.
This is a black day for the French press, said Christophe Deloire from Reporters Without Borders. Charlie Hebdo had already been threatened in the past, but never anything on this scale. As the attackers made their escape, police arrived on the scene, and a shootout ensued. But the first officers to respond were on bicycle and outgunned. One officer was wounded. With his hands up, he begged for his life. But the gunmen showed no mercy, brutally executing him with a shot to the head. 2 other officers were killed before the terrorists fled in a black Citroën. They abandoned their vehicle and took another one, said French police. These individuals are armed and extremely dangerous. Visibly shocked, the French president, François Hollande, promised the gunmen would be found.
They will be pursued for as long as is necessary in order that they be arrested, brought before a judge, and sentenced.
Shocked by the brutality of today's attacks, thousands of Parisians have taken to the streets in a show of national unity and solidarity with the murdered journalists, chanting "Liberté d'expression," freedom of expression, and "Nous sommes tous Charlie," we are all Charlie.
We feel that democracy has been broken today by this horrible killing.
Charlie Hebdo had been a terrorist target before. In 2011, the magazine's offices were gutted by a firebomb after taking a provocative satirical swipe at Islam and the Prophet Muhammad. But the publication refused to be silenced. In its last tweet before the attack, it mocked the leader of the Islamic State. Security has been stepped up in France at train stations and transportation hubs across the country. And authorities have revealed several terrorist plots have been thwarted in the last few weeks.
Tonight, there are also reports that police have identified the gunmen. 2 of them are brothers in their 30s, French nationals. They spoke apparently spoke very well with a natural local French accent. The other one, 18 years old, his nationality, though, is not known. There are reports that the man had links to a Yemeni terrorist organization, but Donna, none of this yet has been confirmed from the French Interior Ministry.
Stuart Greer on a tense night in France. Thank you, Stuart.